98.7 CKPM-FM.
Sandy Michie and Matthew Michie from Coquitlam. Well, actually, Matthew is from Coquitlam Express. Sandy's from something called the Coquitlam Comets. And welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
It is Coquitlam Comet Night. Sandy, what are the Comets all about?
Well, the Comets were formed when I first got involved with them, Rod, back in 1965 in the mid-60s. And they've been a junior hockey team in Coquitlam for 15 years that I was involved. And I owned and managed them for all that time. And we put about 300 kids, junior hockey kids, mostly from the local scene, from the Tri-Cities and from Burnaby and Coquitlam. And
and every now and then you had a ringer, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what's the name of the guy you pulled in that you put him up in Millardville because he was French, so you had to make him feel like he was at home?
Well, he was staying with his uncle in Millardville.
Millardville, okay.
And he came from Quebec, and his name was Richard Passon, but we called him Dick Fish to make it short.
Dick Fish.
And he was a good hockey player, but the one thing that we never found anybody else that could do as well as him was shoot the puck.
Yeah?
He actually, Ronnie Patterson, who played for the Sockeyes, he came across the blue line, blasted one at him, hit him on the chest protector, and actually stopped his heart.
Holy cow, the guy was okay after?
Oh, yeah. Now Ronnie owns a couple of wine stores. And he does actually support the Sockeyes still.
Right on.
In this day and age. And so Richard, I would think he could have put the puck with a wooden stick.
Yeah.
100, up towards 100 mile an hour.
So you look at hockey then and hockey now. Now, in the mid to late 70s, Slapshot came out. Now, was there a lot of similarities? Because you look at athletes like Matthew now, and they eat, live, and breathe hockey. They're training 24/7, 365 days a year. But back then, it was a different time.
Oh, yeah, so a lot different time. You can't say that the guys weren't in good shape because most of them did push-ups, sit-ups, and skated a lot, although we only practiced twice a week and played 2 games, one home and one away, and most of it on local so that they could go to school or have a job, whatever. Our guys, the emphasis was on taking 16, 17-year-old players and growing them into men and putting them into a career of some kind, whether it be a fireman, a policeman, school teacher, whatever. So that was our primary objective with the Junior A League. And
that really hasn't changed much now because Coquitlam Comets have evolved into the Coquitlam Express, and Matthew here is one of the assistant captain, I believe, and a centerman for the Express. And I had the luxury of talking to your mom a couple of games ago, and she says you're on your way to possibly a big name school or something back east, and that's the same as it is for a lot of guys on your team.
Yeah, a lot of the guys on our team are their main focus from coming from the Coquitlam Express is to get a commitment to a school or a scholarship to a school either in the States or Canada. So as it has changed from back then to now, our main focus is to get into a school and play hockey for them.
Nice, and it's nice if you can get a full ride because then your mom and dad don't have to worry about throwing out $80,000 a year, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, this is how many years for the Express now?
This is my first year.
First year, okay. And you're looking at possibly getting a scholarship, which is cool. Now, your coach, wonderful guy, Barry Wolf. When you first saw him, did he scare you?
The way Coach Barry Wolf runs his practices, runs his team, I commend him fully for it. He's an unreal coach. I love him as a coach. He works his bag off, and he works harder than almost anybody on our team, and that's why all of us work for him.
I agree. I look at what he's done with you young guys, and it's just amazing. So my kid and I were sitting behind the bench, just in front of your mom at one of the games, and my kid looks at me and says, "Dad, I'm scared of that guy." And I says, "Who are you talking about?" He says, "The guy in the suit on the other side of the glass," and he's pointing to Barry. I said, "Don't worry, son. He's not going to hurt you. If you're not playing for him and you listen to him, he won't hurt you."
Yeah. He's got more fire than any coach I've ever had.
Yeah, and what an improvement from last year, too. You guys have made the playoffs, I believe?
Yep. We're ready.
Excellent. That's going to come across soon. So, Sandy, as being an owner of a hockey team, it is not a money-making operation, is it?
No, it's not. No, it's we had much smaller budgets in the days that I operated than what the guys have today. But we managed to break even. Some years we even managed to have a little surplus, which I would spend on jackets and dinners and that sort of thing. But of the 15 years that we operated, probably half of those, I would have to throw in $30,000-$40,000 just to break even.
And that is in the mid-'70s. $40,000 back then is like you could buy yourself a house.
It's a good thing it was tax deductible.
Exactly. Interesting story. You're talking about hockey sticks back then. Matthew, what's a hockey stick you guys use, the average price right about now?
Oh, close to $300.
And it lasts you how many games?
Oh, it depends. Some guys it lasts 2 games, some guys it lasts 10, but they're breaking all the time nowadays.
Yeah, and Sandy, you told what hockey sticks were they?
The Coho.
The Coho. You guys got a line on Coho sticks back in the mid-'70s, and what did they cost you?
About $10 a stick.
And they were state of the art back then, weren't they?
They were the state of the art of wooden stick. That got away above the old Sherwood and the Easton and those heavy wooden sticks that, mind you, those wooden sticks were a whole lot better for cross-checking.
Yeah.
They hurt a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
I keep thinking back to guys like Eddie Shack and watching him play, and yeah, he loved using his stick, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
This Friday night, it's the Coquitlam Comets. You're going to be celebrated up at the Pond on Poirier. Game time is 7:00. Now they're going to be honoring junior hockey in Coquitlam and all the alumni, featuring past players, staff, volunteers, and ownership. You are one of the owners and principal guy for bringing the Comets to Coquitlam and actually giving Coquitlam something to be proud of.
I hope so, yes.
Yeah.
I think that's the truth.
And it's funny, my ex-wife's uncle played for you guys, Dave Zinn.
Dave Zinn, sure.
Yeah, and I heard he is quite the stick handler, too.
Well, he was a stick handler, right?
So that's great. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. Coquitlam Comets Throwback Night on Friday. We'll see you there. Sandy Michie, Matthew Michie, thank you for being here, guys.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Rod.
98.7 CKPM FM.